Welcome to a new Petrolhead Classics video. Today with one of my favorite cars, a stunningly beautiful 1975 Jaguar XJ 4.2. To me, this is one of the best Jaguar design of all times. I think it looks perfect from any angle. It's timeless, very, very elegant. You've got this pillarless coupe, very flowing lines, simply stunning. This car, however, is not what you think it is. It's got something very special under the bonnet, so please make sure to stick around as we will reveal what that is in just a minute. And to do so, I'm going to ask the owner, who has generously let us take the car for a ride, to come in and tell us more about it.
Okay, then.
So this is Christan Poulet, a Belgian collector friend of mine, and I think what he doesn't know about Jaguar is not worth knowing because he's been working with them from a very, very young age. So thanks again for letting us come out today.
Yeah, thank you. And you have the opportunity to present this Jaguar, which is 75, and I bought it like 2 years ago from old man, which is we're keeping the car for a very long time in the garage, and it was a very long time for me to find the car which I was wishing to have, and it basically had everything which I wanted. And one of the main points was to have the manual gearbox, because manual gearbox is not an easy model to find, and the 4.2. I was afraid of the 5.3 with the V12 because I'm like using the car every day. It's important to have a car which is reliable, which is easy to maintain, and 6-cylinder 4.2 is the top classic engine from Jaguar. That's why I was very pleased. There has been, as usual, there are some surprise when you buy a car, and but this has been corrected, modified if needed. And after a year of using the car, then I decided to go on with modification with the engine.
Yeah, and now comes the very special part, and maybe just taking one step back.
Yep.
So you were looking for quite some time until you found the right example. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you made the perfect choice because you found a car with a manual gearbox that is actually very original as well.
It is.
Very well taken care of. What's the mileage of the car?
The car now is 140,000 kilometers. And but basically it hasn't been very used. Usually the people were owners, and I check all the owners before, and they were like people who were over 60 years old. That's why they were not pushing the car. And when I start to drive the car, I realized that the car isn't really being used on the proper way, meaning that driving long distance and trying to push the car a little. And we tried the car last year.
Yeah, we did. I remember that.
When we did this test last year, we realized that, as you as well, that the car was, wouldn't say heavy, but it was not so dynamic. And after this little trip we had together, and I was thinking, yeah, we have to do something else.
Yeah, I remember that you were still kind of running in the car because it's been standing around for 10 years, and you just need to sort of warming up and bring it back to life again, right?
Yes, this is for me, I think, is important somehow to have a respect from the car and the engineers who are doing the car. Is that this car I was not thinking to keep in the garage. For me, it's important to use it and somehow to live with it, and the aim is to do so. And looking for making the car a little more, I would say, modern, if I could say like this, in terms of performance and dynamism on the street.
Yeah. So now we're getting close to what actually makes this car very special, and I think it's basically an XJC that thinks it's an E-Type, right?
Yeah, it's getting closer. E-Type is a special model that everybody is really wishing, and which is very well known. And basically, we get with modified this car originally with a 2 carburetor SU. Then now we have a 3 carburetor SU, and we have a filter, and we will see the car when we open the bonnet, and we will see what it's about. The car is not so, it's a little more heavy than the E-Type Jaguar. E-Type Jaguar is 1,450 kilo, if I remember well. This car is 1,750 kilo. That's why I will integrate it in the definition of a Gran Turismo type of car, not a sports car. And it's not the aim, but at least we arrive to a certain level of dynamism, which make the car pleasant to drive every day. And this is my first aim, is to have pleasure when I'm driving this car.
Yeah, and what I really like about Christian is that he's actually using the car. He's driving every day, as you say, maybe not every day in the winter.
No.
But I mean, really using it and not just keeping it in the garage.
Yeah, when it's raining, the Jaguar doesn't like it.
Cats don't like rain.
No,
anyway, so.
that's why I respect their character.
Exactly. No, it's just a fantastic car, and I especially love it the pillarless design. So when you have the especially when you have the windows down and you see it like this, it's just stunningly beautiful. Anyway, can we have a look under the bonnet? Yeah. Okay, Christian, so maybe you can show us the modifications that were made to the engine.
Yeah, okay, originally you had only 2 carburetors. It means that now we have a 3 carburetor. The intake manifold was totally different. That's why what is given now is that by the 3 carburetor, then you have easier access, I would say, to have the oxygen into the engine, and this is helping as well by the air filter. And this is
the K&N, right?
Yeah, the K&N, which is a large version. You can see it. You can get a lot of air, and that's why the car is. I would say the revs are going much quicker, much higher, and this is why, as we were trying the car is really the same feeling that you have in E-Type. The noise, the atmosphere in the car has been changed. Yeah. That's why it's like a metamorphose somehow. But in my view, it's getting closer to what the car needed to be. And the 4.2 with two carburetor was a little slow for me, and now I think it's really fitting to the I would say to what should have been the car, because the car was basically produced beginning of the 70s, and at that time there was, as everybody knows, I hope, that there was this I would say this crisis, petrol crisis, and then I would say Jaguar at that time decided to not go on with this 3 carburetor like E-Type or Mark 10, and that's why they came with the 2 carburetor. Now I think it's getting back to what it should have been done, and by driving the car I feel that was needed to be done, and I'm happy with it now. Originally it's a Mark 10, and they are very similar, I would say, in terms of in terms of abilities and dynamism. That's why they are it's similar, very similar. Okay. They're like very close cousins.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
This is what it's about.
Hello.
And, hello.
So what power do you reckon that the engine has now after the conversion?
I think that the car should be around between 230 and 240 horsepower.
That's way up from the factory spec, right?
Yes, yeah. And then once I was trying on the highway, just after having received the car, we were going on the highway, and then I was surprised to be already at 140, 150 kilometers per hour. I haven't done anything really pushing the car. Wow. That's why it's very pleasant. And the point is important as well, the security for the passenger, meaning that if you are in the, I would say, national roads and you want to overtake a lorry, now it's not a problem anymore. I had some bad experience in the past. And that's why now I feel much more secure, and I'm going to change the tire to have soft tires to have better grip on the road as well. I changed the fan as well, that the car is not getting warm, because this car has a problem. Jaguar is always having this, I would say, people who have Jaguar know about this problem, that the car is heating easily in the city center. And that's why now what we have is that we have a new fan, and with a new thermostat, we put a thermostat here. That's why it's starting. We can modify as well, I would say, the temperature when the thermostat starts. And now with the thermostat, the car is really getting, and I would say, it doesn't get warm. And that's why if people have experience with driving an E-Type Jaguar in the city center, then they know what is this kind of experience. You get out of the car like a sauna, and even you cannot drive the car with your right feet because it's burning. But after that, you think, okay, you drive for a while, but not too long. But this car is really for, I would say, for every day you are in the city center, it doesn't warm up. And we are still in winter, I recognize. I'm waiting for the summer. But already it's really going well, and this is what is the aim, is that to have pleasure with the car, to drive it, and to be, I would say, an everyday partner in your life, and you have like having, I would say, pleasure, and people are coming to you, they are interested by the car, Many people waving in the city center, question going to petrol station. So many people asking, okay, what kind of car it is, what kind of model, and that's why it's pleasant. If you give, I would say, some happiness to people because they see something that they don't really see every day. Then people have a very good, I would say, open. They're open to you, and then they are really having like kids talking to about a toy, and then it's really pleasant. I think it's a very good experience. And thank you to Sir Lyons.
Yeah, I think he did a fantastic job, and I mean, we could talk all day about the Jaguar XJ itself, because actually the basic model, which came out in '68, was just fantastic value for money, very advanced suspension, inward rear disc brakes. I mean, it had a lot of features that were super advanced. Very luxurious leather, wood on the inside, super comfortable, but it was sold at a fraction of the price of a BMW or Mercedes back then. So I don't really know how he did it, but
yeah, the secret of the English.
Yes, exactly.
But after they had to sell Jaguar.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, that's another story. It's really getting like wine. It seems that it takes time, and after a while, the character of the car is appearing much more. It has much more character with time passing. Yes, because the back part of the car is like a fish shape, and you really see that it has very, very strong character. And this is what I like. And the time is passing, the character is appearing much more.
Yeah, no, it's just one of the best designs, I think, of the 60s and 70s, and it's fascinating to think that the XJ, not in this two-door form because they only built it for 2 years, 75, 76, 77. But the basic four-door was built until 1992 with a V12 engine, and even the Jaguars that came after tried to a little bit do a retro design of this, which was maybe not a good idea. But anyway, I think it looked almost as modern in '92 as it did in '68, which is
Can you imagine a car which has been produced for so many years? It's impossible.
It's impossible
by
today's
days,
standards.
Yes. After 5-6 years, people say, "What is this old car is about?"
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Thank you for letting us know this. Now the question is, of course, can we take it for a ride?
Yeah, let's go.
Very good. Okay, let's go. This video will continue over into part 2, where we will be driving the car. Please stay tuned.